What is up, folks at home? Welcome back to the channel. Join me and Caden today as we hit out on the lake right now. We are going to fish some jointed swim baits, some rattle traps. We're going to go underwater and talk about how we fish these baits. Handing was cool enough to send them some of these baits to try out. They are awesome. They're clean looking jointed swim baits. It's the fall, fish are on the feed, so let's go catch some fish with some jointed swim baits and talk about how we use these. Alright guys, jointed swim baits are an interesting topic. How I fish a jointed swim bait is just like how I would fish a glide bait. You have to actively fish these baits. So many guys think that these are like soft plastic swim baits that you just chuck out there and wind back in. In reality, that's not the case. So when I fish a jointed swim bait, let's get one out here so we can look and see what we got. These baits from Handing are super clean. They all have mustad treble hooks on them, so you don't have to change them out. But what we got here is a jointed swim bait that is 4 sections. And as you can see, it's got white on top. It's that fish eating a fish, kind of classic Handing pattern, and it's got a green belly. What you want to think about... Hey, we got a fish. Look at that. What did we get? A crappie. Oh man, we got dinner. Wow. That's a good crop too, on the trap. Hey, we're catching fish. I might, shut up and start catching some fish. Let's throw them in the well, baby. Look at that one. Hold him up for the camera. He's nice and pretty. Look at that. Man, it's nice to catch a fish, isn't it? Good 10. Look at that. Chuck him in there. See ya. So, back to what I was talking about. Swim baits, right? Before we were rudely interrupted by a fish catch. When you are fishing a swim bait like this, you really want to focus on fishing it like a glide bait. Adding pops and dives in there, adding different cadences so you can see where the bass is. About the only time of year when you're gonna wanna steady fish this is in the spring. Early in the spring when those weeds are first coming up and those bass are sitting in those green weeds feeding up, you fish this over top of those weed beds, you're going to get bit. But in the fall, you wanna give it an active retrieve. You want to physically make this bait pop, dive, duck, dodge, all those things into those weed beds, because what you're going to do is literally cause those fish to react. This is a pure reaction bait. You're looking for a fish to come unglued and decide that they are ready to chew this bait right now. So we're gonna get to fishing here. Caden's already ahead of me, so we're gonna get to fishing and let's see if we can catch some bass. Let's check out some underwater on these baits. It'll make a whole lot more sense what I'm talking about. Let's go. So when we look at jointed swim baits underwater here, these baits have a really nice swim. They've got a clean action. Let's listen to the sound that they give off underwater. So they give off that faint rattling, cracking, which makes them great options for stained to medium water quality. Also, they're really good in gin clear because you can burn them, speed them up, and slow them down, as we're doing right here, to generate bites. What you get a lot of times with hard swim baits like this are a ton of follows. If you can pause this, if you can fish it in clear water and watch that bait coming towards you, it's going to be a benefit. Now, the things that I like about these Handing baits right here, 1, they have a really good swim. 2, they don't burn out, because I'm burning this bait right here. What you want with hard swim baits are speed, but also the ability to slow them down and speed them up without losing action. Plus, they have great colors that look really, really, really good in that stop and go color, that burn, burn, burn pause. Here you have a white bass
colored swim bait. If you have a lake with white bass in it, this swim bait is absolutely going to get chewed. In the springtime, white bass school up on the bars and run up rivers. If you fish this bait, guess what? Big bass, big pike, big muskie eat white bass. That is going to be a fantastic color to throw right there. And once again, you can burn, pause, slow it down, speed it up. What you're looking for is a reaction bite and a reaction response from those predator fish. A lot of times those fish will follow them for a long ways. So what you don't want to do is statically fish these baits underwater. What you want to do is give yourself the ability to burn them, to pause them. Those handing baits, see right there, when you speed that up, those fish are going to come back, and when it pops them in the face, they're going to inhale that bait. It's a very good looking swim bait underwater, and that's not an easy thing to do. The other thing you got to be on the watch for in the hard swim bait game is price. At $17 for 3 of these with quality treble hooks on there, this is a great entry level bait to pick up and learn how to fish a hard jointed swim bait. You can run them on top, you can run them middle of the column, they're gonna sink, but the important thing here is they're very realistic. Here's your green pike patterned one almost. Pike are carnivores, they love to eat other pike, and what this looks like is a pike that's predating another fish. If you can burn this bait in weed beds and fish it consistently in these places, you're going to get bit. Simple as that. They're good looking baits underwater. They hold in speed. They are able to be fished multiple ways. You can totally pause this, totally kill it. They look really good coming through the water column. I love the double eyes on it. They're durable, right? We caught a bunch of fish on hard swim baits years ago, and then I put them down, and I'm gonna pick them back up now because it's something that the fish just haven't seen a lot. When that soft swim bait craze hit, I got into it. I've fished a lot of soft swim baits lately, but let me tell you, I fished this bait for 15 minutes, caught a nice bass doing it on a fall day where a swim bait bite probably wasn't going to be the best thing. So it's just something that you got to work through and figure out. Let's get some underwater looks at what we're talking about with this fish. Now, I was ripping this bait out of the weed edges when this fish hit it, and you can see it's got weeds attached to it. So if you can fish these baits around cover and around structure, you have a better chance of getting it. Plus, those treble hooks are sticky sharp right out of the package, which is another cost-saving feature, right? Hey, it's always good to catch a bass.
Beautiful fish right there on that swim bait from handing. That's why you throw bait right there, friends. Look at that one. Nice. T-boned it too. Beautiful fish. Guys, we hope you enjoy the underwater on these handing baits. Remember, Caden and I and Sam, we are all about efficiency and not spending money you don't need to spend, and finding baits that work on a budget. You don't have to go out and spend $10 million to catch fish. You can find quality stuff for bargain prices. All of these swim baits for like 15 bucks from handing, which 3 jointed swim baits that work, that catch fish for 15 bucks, I mean, that's pretty good. The swim bait game can get super steep and really hard to get into if you don't know what to do. But oh man, we're on another one? Yeah. Hooked up again. What do we got?
Don't feel bad either.
What's it gonna be?
It's a bass.
It's a bass? I'm excited.
Be excited.
I'm excited. We're gonna get underwater on it. That's a nice bite too.
Another piece of dinner.
How does it feel? Let's go. As Caden would say, this is the most dangerous fish in the world.
Way more dangerous than a 13-incher. Way more.
Look at that, dude. That thing chewed it right there. Let's get him unhooked. Woo. Hey, join us next time for a great video. We'll see ya.